All right, guys, we're back here with the 67 RSSS 427 ZZ427 engine install, and GM says this thing bolts right in. Well, I can tell you for a fact it doesn't. It bolts right in, but there's a few minor modifications you got to make it actually fit. And I don't know if any GM guys ever watch this, but you guys really need to fix this problem. I'm going to show you. Okay, so we got the engine in. I got the car up in the air. Here's what we're looking at. When you try to turn the wheels, the center link hit the oil pan, and you literally couldn't turn the wheels. You could turn them to the left about half a turn. You could turn them to the right about 1/8 of a turn. So what I did, what I started out doing, I started out with a piece of wood, putting it up against the center link and hitting it with a hammer, trying to put a little dent in the pan. That wasn't enough. So I ended up taking one hammer, laying it up against the center link, and hitting it with a second hammer to put a bigger dent in the pan. And as you can see, I mean, it's not terrible, but you can see that dent right there. It's not bad. So that's what I did to start with. Okay, and then I did the sacrilegious thing, which probably all you Camaro guys are going to freak out over. I took this giant 6-foot long rock bar and I stuck it right up in here in the motor mount, if you can see that, in the motor mount, and then I would push my body weight against the center link to try to push it forward a little bit. That worked fairly well. But then, the last thing I did, I can get my light, there we go. So I took turn that, John. So I took my grinder, I took a air grinder, and I ground a notch into this center link. Now this center link here is the heavy duty, F41 suspension center link. And it's twice the size of a factory center link. So if you got a factory center link that looks like a toothpick, then you'll be fine. But with this big center link, I took a grinder and I ground this out, just a little bit of a divot in there so it would clear the pan. Now I want to tell you guys something. This is very important. If you do this, when you're done grinding it, number one, you have to radius your grind. You can't just cut a notch in it and it be safe. You got to radius it out, and then you need to take an air sander or some sandpaper or something and smooth all the edges. Make sure you got no sharp edges anywhere in this, because a sharp edge will start a crack. And obviously you don't want your center link to crack when you're driving down the road. So make sure if you do this, when you're done grinding it out, as you can, let me get a view so you can see how much of it I took out. I took out probably 1/3 of the bar, not bad. But I radiused it out on both sides, nice and smooth. And then I ground it down, sanded it down with an air sander, and then I actually finished it up with 300 grit emery cloth to make it nice. I mean, this thing's butter smooth, so that's what you want to do to avoid cracks. And now, as you can see, here's the driver's side wheel. We got full turn on that, and John's going to turn the other way, and we're about 1 inch short of full turn on this side, but I think it's going to work. We're going to try it that way. And if you look up in here, you can see how tight that is, just right up against the pan. But I don't want to grind that center link anymore. I don't feel comfortable with it. So I think we're going to live with that. I think we'll be all right. So GM guys, you need to fix this pan. I mean, you need to redesign it or put a divot in it whenever it's made from whoever makes the pan. This is kind of ridiculous. You have to do this. You pay this much for an engine. You have to make these modifications. I mean, little stuff's fine, but this is something major, and it really needs to be fixed for the price we pay for these motors. So just my 2 cents worth, and I haven't seen a video of this on YouTube, so I'm going to put it on there. Hopefully it'll help some of you guys, you Camaro guys. One easy thing to do would be to obviously put a dent in this pan before you put the engine in, or just drop the engine in, mark where the center link is, take the engine back out, and then you know where to dent it. But we didn't know that. We've never done this before. Like I told you guys in the first video, this is my first time ever putting a ZZ engine in, so I don't know anything about them. But we got it to fit. It works pretty good. I think it'll be okay. So hopefully this will help somebody in the future. And that way you can get it done before you put the motor in. It's a lot easier than doing it afterwards. All right. Thanks for watching my channel. Have a good day. Bye.